You got your 7 or 8 hours of sleep, but your brain feels like it's stuck in slow motion. You're staring at your coffee, waiting for your mind to boot up, wondering why your thoughts are foggy, your focus is scattered, and your energy's just not there. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Brain fog isn't just frustrating. It can make everyday tasks feel harder. Forgetting where you put your keys, struggling to find the right word in conversation, or just feeling mentally sluggish, these aren't just signs of getting older. Often they're signals. Signals from your brain saying, hey, I need a little help here. Here's the good news. You don't have to live with that fog. In fact, researchers have found that one simple change to your nighttime routine can dramatically improve how clear, energized, and focused you feel the next morning. No supplements, no expensive gadgets, no fancy biohacks. And no, it's not just get better sleep. That's part of it, sure. But the real key is understanding what your brain needs before bed so it can do its job properly while you sleep. Because here's something most people don't know. Your brain is incredibly busy while you're sleeping. It's doing a kind of night shift cleanup, washing out waste, organizing memories, resetting your nervous system, even refreshing your emotional balance. But for that to happen well, your body and brain need a few specific things in place, things you can easily do starting tonight. Your brain works the same way. And today I'm going to show you how to help it clean house overnight, so you can wake up clearer, sharper, and stronger. We still look at a simple way to activate your brain's internal rinse cycle so toxins don't build up overnight. A tiny evening habit that can reduce anxiety and help you fall asleep faster, even if your thoughts usually race. One surprising food mistake that can sabotage your sleep and your memory. A science-backed bedtime rhythm that boosts both focus and mood the next day. And how to create a 10-minute wind-down routine that tells your brain it's safe to rest. You don't need a perfect lifestyle. You don't need to overhaul your entire routine. You just need to understand what your brain is trying to do while you sleep and give it a little help. So if you're tired of dragging through your mornings in a mental fog, stay with me. We're going to make it clear, simple, and doable, no matter your age or fitness level. Ready? Let's get into it. Give your brain a rinse before bed. Imagine if your kitchen never got cleaned. The dishes piled up, the crumbs stayed on the counter, and every morning you walked into a mess, still expecting to cook a fresh, healthy breakfast. That's kind of what happens when your brain doesn't get the chance to clean itself overnight. But here's the catch. This system only kicks in while you sleep. And even more specifically, it works best when you're in deep, restorative sleep. That's the stage where your brain is offloading all the clutter from the day, clearing out waste, rebalancing chemicals, and refreshing your focus and mood. So what shuts that system down? Late night stress, heavy meals, poor hydration, and this is a big one, inconsistent sleep habits. But there's good news. You can help your brain do this cleanup job more effectively starting tonight. A simple thing you can do is stay lightly hydrated in the evening, not with a huge glass of water right before bed. That'll just wake you up at 2 a.m. But with small, steady sips in the 2 hours leading up to bedtime. Why does this matter? Because the glymphatic system relies on fluid flow to carry waste out of the brain. No fluids, no flow. Another simple habit, sleep on your side. This one might surprise you, but studies from places like the University of Rochester found that side sleeping, especially on your right side, can help the brain drain waste more efficiently. It's kind of like positioning a sink to let water drain properly. So tonight, try this. Sip some water in the evening, but stop about an hour before bed. Lie on your side when you sleep, especially if you're someone who wakes up foggy often. And try to keep a regular bedtime within the same hour each night. That rhythm tells your brain it's sips time to clean up. These small changes may not seem dramatic, but over time they help your brain stay clearer, sharper, and more focused, especially as you age. Ready for the next step? Let's talk about calming your nervous system. Not just your mind, so your body can fully relax and let sleep do its magic. Calm your nervous system, not just your thoughts. Have you ever felt totally exhausted, but the moment your head hits the pillow, your brain decides to start holding a board meeting? Your body says, let's sit sleep, but your mind says, let's sits overthink everything from 1985 to tomorrow SIP's to-do list. Sound familiar? Here's what researchers have found. It's not just your thoughts that need to slow down before bed. It's your body's stress response system. Think of it like this. Your brain has two main modes. Rest and repair mode. That's your parasympathetic nervous system. This is where deep healing, digestion, and good sleep happen. The problem is most of us stay stuck in go mode all the way up until bedtime. Scrolling through news, watching intense shows, checking emails, or even just mentally replaying our day, it keeps our nervous system on high alert. To truly prepare for deep, brain-clearing sleep, you need to shift gears physiologically, not just mentally. And the good news? You don't need fancy apps or a complete lifestyle overhaul. A simple thing you can do is breathe like you're already asleep. Your breath is the remote control for your nervous system. When you breathe quickly and shallowly, your brain thinks it's time to act. But when you breathe slowly and deeply, especially with a longer exhale, your brain gets the message, it's okay to rest. Here's a simple technique to try tonight. Breathe in through your nose for a count of 4. Breathe out through your mouth for a count of 6. Do that for just 2 to 3 minutes before bed. You'll feel your heart rate slow, your shoulders drop, and your mind start to settle. Not by force, but by physiology. Think of it like downshifting a car before you park it. You wouldn't slam it into off from 60 miles an hour. You ease down. Your body needs the same kind of transition. Another helpful trick. Turn down lights and screens at least 30 minutes before sleep. Light, especially the blue light from phones and TVs, tells your brain it's still daytime. That blocks melatonin, the hormone that helps you drift into sleep. Instead, try low, warm lighting. Even better, turn on a small lamp, make a cup of herbal tea, or listen to soft music. Give your brain an environment that whispers, it's time to let go. Have you ever noticed how animals wind down before sleep? A dog will circle, stretch, and nest. It's their way of telling the nervous system, you're safe now. You can do the same thing, just with breath, light, and rhythm. Because here's the truth. Your body knows how to rest. Sometimes it just needs permission. And once you give your nervous system a chance to shift, your brain gets the deep sleep it needs to clean, reset, and restore. If this insight is helping you, go ahead and subscribe. We've got more simple science-backed tools coming your way to help you stay clear, strong, and energized. Next up, let's talk about a common evening mistake. Something millions of people eat that might be stealing your clarity and memory, one bite at a time. Avoid this sneaky sleep saboteur on your plate. Let me ask you something. Have you ever woken up groggy, puffy, or just mentally dull, even after a full night's sleep, and thought, I must be getting older? Maybe. But sometimes it's not your age. It's what you ate the night before. One of the most overlooked causes of brain fog, especially in the morning, is what researchers call sleep fragmentation. That means your sleep keeps getting interrupted, even if you don't fully wake up. And one of the biggest culprits, late night sugar and refined carbs. Now, I'm not here to ruin your evening snack, but here's what happens when you eat something high in sugar or refined starches close to bedtime. Think cookies, crackers, chips, or even white bread. Your blood sugar goes up quickly. Then, during the night, it crashes. And when your blood sugar crashes, your body releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline to stabilize it, and those wake your brain up. Not fully. You might not even remember it. But it pulls you out of deep sleep, and over time that adds up. So instead of your brain doing its essential cleanup and repair work, it keeps getting pinned by your body's blood sugar roller coaster. It's like trying to clean your kitchen, but someone keeps turning the lights on and off every 5 minutes. Researchers have found that people who eat high glycemic meals close to bedtime not only sleep worse, they also score lower on memory and attention tests the next day. That's the science. But here's the fix, and it's easy. A simple thing you can do is swap your late night snack for a sleep-friendly one. Instead of sweet or starchy snacks, try something with a bit of protein and healthy fat. A small handful of almonds or walnuts, a slice of turkey or a hard-boiled egg, half a banana with a spoon of almond butter. Plain Greek yogurt with a sprinkle of cinnamon. These help keep your blood sugar more stable overnight, so your brain stays in deep, uninterrupted sleep. And if you tend to eat dinner late, try to finish eating at least 2 to 3 hours before bed. That gives your body time to digest and your blood sugar time to settle before sleep. Avoid alcohol right before bed. I know that evening glass of wine can feel relaxing, but while alcohol may help you fall asleep faster, it dramatically reduces your deep sleep and increases nighttime awakenings. It's like hitting the pause button on your brain's overnight housekeeping crew. Have you ever noticed that after certain meals or drinks you sleep but still wake up feeling off? That's your body and brain trying to recover from more than just the day. You don't have to be perfect with this. Even small changes can make a big difference over time. So tonight, try giving your brain what it actually needs, a steady, calm environment inside and out so it can fully recharge. Because when your sleep isn't being interrupted from the inside, you give your brain a real chance to wake up refreshed, focused, and ready. Next, let's talk about rhythm and how creating a gentle evening routine can help your brain know exactly when to clean, rest, and reset. Sync with your brain set's natural rhythm. Have you ever noticed how young kids get sleepy around the same time every night and how cranky they get when their routine is off? Here's the thing: that built-in rhythm doesn't disappear as we age. Your brain still craves structure. It wants to know when it's time to focus, when it's time to slow down, and when it's time to sleep. But in modern life, that rhythm gets thrown off. We've got bright lights on late at night, irregular meal times, screens in our faces, and a constant flow of stimulation, all sending mixed signals to the brain. And when your brain doesn't know what time it thinks it doesn't know what chemicals to release, especially the ones that help you wind down, fall asleep, and stay in deep, restorative sleep. Here's what researchers have found. People who keep a regular evening rhythm, not strict or rigid, just predictable, fall asleep faster, sleep deeper, and wake up clearer. That sips because your brain starts to associate certain cues like light, temperature, movement, and even habits with it sips time to rest now. Think of it like this. You're training your brain like a smart dog. If you give it consistent cues, it learns what to do. But if every night looks different, the brain doesn't know what to expect and stays alert just in case. So here sips a simple plan you can start tonight. The simple thing you can do is create a gentle 3-step wind-down routine. It doesn't have to be fancy. Just choose 3 calming actions you do in the same order every night, ideally within the hour before bed. Dim the lights and turn off bright screens. Light stretching or a warm shower. Reading a few pages of a calming book or journaling for 5 minutes. You're setting the stage for melatonin to rise, cortisol to fall, and sleep to come more naturally. So you can take a warm shower or bath an hour before bed. Your body cools down afterward, which triggers sleep. Turn the thermostat down slightly, or simply keep your feet uncovered while sleeping. It's subtle but powerful. Have you ever gone camping or stayed in a cabin and felt like you fell asleep more easily? That's rhythm. Less artificial light, cooler air, natural cues. Your brain loves it. Because when you build consistency into your evenings, your brain responds with clarity in the mornings. If you're finding this helpful so far, hit that subscribe button. We've got more insights coming to help you feel stronger, clearer, and more energized with every video. Next up, what to do when your mind is still full at bedtime, and how to empty the mental clutter so your brain can fully let go. Reduce mental clutter before you lie down. Let me ask you something. Have you ever laid in bed perfectly still on the outside, but inside your brain it's a traffic jam of thoughts? That's not just annoying. It's one of the biggest barriers to the kind of deep, restorative sleep that helps you wake up clear and energized. Here's what researchers have found. Your brain needs to offload before it can deeply rest. Just like a computer gets sluggish when too many programs are running, your brain struggles to shift into sleep if it's still juggling mental tabs. So what can you do? A simple thing you can do is give your brain a 5-minute mental unload before bed. This isn't journaling. You're not writing a novel. You're just making space. Write things like, call Sarah back tomorrow. Still worried about the Dr. Sip's appointment. Need to pick up dog food. Annoyed about that comment earlier. No filter, no judgment, just unload. Think of it like cleaning out your pockets before laundry. If you don't, you end up with a mess. But if you take a moment to empty things out, it's easier to reset. One study from Baylor University showed that people who wrote down their unfinished tasks before bed actually fell asleep faster and had better sleep quality. just from getting those thoughts out of their heads and onto paper. If your mind tends to spiral with what ifs or regrets at night, give yourself a set time earlier in the evening, maybe after dinner, to think about those things on purpose. You sit, you worry, you think, you reflect, and then you're done. So when those same thoughts show up at bedtime, you can say, "Not now, I already did that." This works especially well if your mind tends to hold on to family worries, health concerns, or those little emotional moments that sneak up after sunset. And if you like tech, there are some gentle guided voice apps that walk you through letting go of thoughts before sleep. But honestly, a cheap notebook on the nightstand works just as well. Have you ever noticed how a cluttered room can make you feel unsettled, even if you're tired? Well, your brain is the same. A cluttered mind makes rest harder, not because you're doing something wrong, but because your brain is still trying to process everything. By giving it a chance to put things away, you're clearing the mental desktop, making space for real sleep to begin. And when you do this regularly, your brain starts to trust that it doesn't have to hold on to everything 24/7. It can rest. It can let go. And when that happens, you don't just fall asleep faster. You wake up clearer, lighter, and more mentally present the next day. Up next, we'll flip things around and talk about what to do after you wake up. Because the first 10 minutes of your morning can either amplify brain fog or help clear it before your second cup of coffee. Make mornings work for your brain. You know that moment right after you wake up. Your eyes are open, but your mind still feels like it's under a heavy blanket. You shuffle to the bathroom, maybe turn on the coffee machine, but mentally you're not really there yet. That fog, that disconnected, sluggish feeling is more than just not being a morning person. It's a sign that your brain hasn't fully flipped the switch from sleep mode to alert mode. But here's the good news. You can help your brain wake up better. And what you do in those first 10 minutes has a big impact on whether your mind clears or stays in a haze. When you wake up, your brain is still transitioning out of a sleep chemical state. One of the big players here is adenosine, a compound that builds up during the day and helps make you feel sleepy at night. During good sleep, adenosine clears out. But if you wake up too fast or dive straight into stress or screens, your brain can get stuck in that in-between place, not fully asleep, but not fully on either. Think of it like a car that starts in second gear. It can move, but not smoothly. What your brain needs is a clear signal. The day has begun. And that starts with two simple things, movement and light. Here's why it works. Light, especially natural sunlight, tells your brain to stop making melatonin, the hormone that keeps you drowsy. Movement, even light stretching or a walk around the room, signals your body to increase circulation and alertness. You don't need to run a mile. You don't need a full workout. Just open the curtains. Step outside if you can. Do 10 slow shoulder rolls. It sits like flipping a mental light switch. And here is another powerful morning habit. But this one sips a little surprising. Delay your first cup of coffee by 60 to 90 minutes after waking. I know, it sounds cruel, but here sips why it matters. Right when you wake up, your cortisol levels naturally rise. Cortisol gets a bad rap, but in the morning, it's your friend. It helps you feel alert and ready. If you drink caffeine too early, it blunts that natural rhythm. Over time, it makes you more dependent on caffeine for that awake feeling and can worsen energy crashes later in the day. So instead, give your body that first hour to wake up with light, movement, and hydration. Then enjoy your coffee. It'll work better, and your energy will last longer. Open the blinds or step outside even for a few minutes. Do gentle movement, like stretching or walking around the kitchen. Drink a glass of water. Your brain is dehydrated after sleep. Wait a bit for coffee. Let your natural alertness rise first. Have you ever noticed that some days your mind feels clearer right from the start, and other days it's like dragging through mud? That's not random. It often comes down to how your brain was cued to wake up. Just like we talked about creating a calming rhythm before bed. Your brain also needs a gentle activation ritual in the morning. And yes, this absolutely works even after 60. Your brain is still responding to these cues, still adaptable, still on your side. Now that we've covered your evening and morning, it's time to bring it all together. Let's wrap up with a quick review and help you put all these steps into a simple, doable plan so you can wake up clearer and stronger starting tomorrow. So let's next take a breath and zoom out for a moment. We've covered a lot today, but if you're feeling inspired and maybe a little overwhelmed, that's completely okay. The real key here is consistency, not perfection. You don't have to master all 6 steps tonight. You just have to start. Let's quickly review what we learned. First, give your brain a rinse before bed. That means helping your lymphatic system, your brain's natural cleaning crew, do its job. Sip water in the evening, sleep on your side, and stick to a regular bedtime as much as possible. Second, calm your nervous system, not just your mind. Your thoughts might say you're still ready for bed, but if your body sips still in go mode, sleep one, sit, come easy. Slow breathing and low light are your allies here. They tell your body it's safe to relax now. Third, avoid the sneaky food mistake that disrupts deep sleep. Late night sugar and refined carbs spike and crash your blood sugar, waking your brain up just when it should be resting. Swap for small protein-rich snacks if needed, and try not to eat too close to bedtime. Fourth, sync with your brain sip's natural rhythm. Fifth, clear mental clutter before you lie down. Take 5 minutes to unload your thoughts onto paper. It helps your brain close the tabs and make space for real rest. You're not being dramatic, you're being smart about protecting your mental clarity. And finally, make mornings work for your brain. Get light and movement within 10 minutes of waking. Delay that first coffee just a bit. Let your brain know the day has started and it's time to activate. These are simple shifts, but they add up. They help you stop fighting your brain and start working with it. Because here's sips the truth. Mental fog is not just part of aging. It's a message. And when you listen, you can do something about it. Even after 60, your brain is still incredibly responsive. It still wants to be clear. It still wants to be sharp. You just need to give it the right conditions. So if you've been waking up feeling foggy, tired, or off, know this, you're not broken. You're likely just missing a few key signals that your brain has been quietly asking for. Just pick one tonight. Maybe it's skipping that late cookie and having a handful of almonds instead. Maybe it's stepping outside in the morning light tomorrow and just looking up. Start there and then keep going. You deserve a brain that works with you, not against you. And no matter your age, it's not too late to clear the fog. We're in this together, one small habit at a time. If this video helped you, I'd love for you to click like, subscribe, and drop a comment. What sips one thing you are going to try tonight? And if you want more tools like this, real, science-backed, and easy to follow, we've got plenty more coming your way. Thanks for spending this time with me. Here's sips to clearer mornings, starting tonight.